What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Slab Sox live stream here, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We are not in our normal location. First of all, Nate and I are together.
Yeah.
That's something that's way different. There we go. And we are also at PWCC. We are at the PWCC headquarters in Tigard, Oregon. They've got the vault. They've got different recording studios, tons of different cool stuff here. It's been a really awesome time so far. We've shot a ton of different videos, a lot in the World Cup and everything. But today we've got a special live stream going down because we actually in hand here are able to show a few of the insane cards in the PWCC Premier Auction ending, or Premier as Nate likes to say.
Because I'm not, from England.
Premier Auction ending on October. It's for sure like the 20th. October 20th, right? Yeah, October 20th. All right. One detail I forgot to look. October 20th. And first card we were just showing there right now is the Patrick Mahomes Contenders Cracked Ice Auto number out of 25. PSA 10.
In person.
Oh, man, it is crazy.
Gracious.
Also, shout out to these amazing cameras from our guy Forrest here, picking up the Cracked Ice. Incredible finish on that card. But first of all, Nate, before we get into all these different cards, talking about the different ones that are coming
1 second. Got to block Manny really quick.
Could have given Nate a booster seat. That's funny. Good looks, Manny. Before we get into talking about all these, we have 9 cards to show and 2 different items, 1 memorabilia, 1 video game, actually. Nate, what's your first impression of, just that vault and the door and all that stuff?
It was very intense. When you hear vaults, bank vault, this and that, you don't really know what to expect. And then you go and see it. You go feel how heavy that door is. And you go see the inner door and how thick the walls are. And it's like, oh, yeah, this is a legitimate vault. Legit safety there that if you were concerned about your cards beforehand, you never have to be concerned again. That thing is intense.
Seriously, there's multiple different protections on it. There's cameras everywhere. And the door itself, you really got to use some muscle and move that thing. I can barely move it. Nate, I guess, is a little stronger than me probably, so I can shut that thing pretty easily.
Fatter anyway.
But we're quite excited to show some cards here today and talk about the auction. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to walk through the 9 cards we have here, show off the 2 different oddball items we normally don't talk about, and then probably also hop on to the actual platform itself and just show a little bit about the premier auction and what's ending. Will has a recommendation or a suggestion, or what you call it. Can you show the Soda Red? I'm interested in trying to figure out why it's a 7. Must be a surface issue. So Will, actually do not have the red in front of us because we only pulled out 9 different cards to show. However, if you do go into the auction itself, maybe I should screen share that right now. If this works, I'm going to screen share it. And you do go and type in Soto. They have these massive robots that image every single card in the premier auction plus in the weekly auction. So this one right here, obviously you're seeing it spinning right now. That is a robot specifically for the premier auction cards. And then for the weekly auction, they've got a different one. So it's got super high-res scans. I know the surface underneath graded card cases, it's hard to tell anyways, but you can pretty much get as tight as you want on there on the scans. The 360, you can move it around. You can zoom in like that and such. And this takes 180 different pictures or something like that and then puts them all together to get this video. It's crazy.
That's so insane.
I know. Isn't it just nuts? So we'll look more at that later, but really appreciate it. Hope everyone's having a good day today. What's up, Tech? Feel free to ask questions as we go throughout the show. If it's normal market stuff, if it's on these cards specifically, if it's about sports, whatever it is, we can have the normal discussion like we normally have here on Slab Sox Live, just while talking about these super cool high-end cards that Nate nor I will ever be able to own something that's most likely, but
very unlikely.
But it's fun to look at. I gotta say that much. So we will start here with this Patrick Mahomes. This is a 2017 Cracked Ice PSA 10 numbered out of 25. I'm going to pull up that current bid here just so I do know what we're talking about, what this is at right now. This is one of his single best cards, obviously. Next is 2017 National Treasures RPA, his Prism gold vinyls. There's a gold final 9.5 also in this auction. But my choice always goes to autographs, especially on card when it comes to, which card would you rather have type of thing. And between this and the Prism gold vinyl, I'd rather have this. And the bid's showing that right now for whoever is bidding on it too, because it's at $80,000 for the Cracked Ice PSA 10. I feel a little worried holding in my hand right now, so let me set that down for a second. But the gold vinyl
I haven't even gone to even try to touch
it. The gold vinyl is at $55K. Nate's show dinging corners didn't just happen to get dinging corners. So let's make sure Nate's hands stay.
That's true. That was a show name based off of previous history on my part.
Oh, love it.
Specifically Ronald Acuna.
Nate, Will wants to go halvesies with you on the Trout Red, just so you know.
All right. I'll do $50 and you do the other half.
But as for this Mahomes, the last sale of this card was $336,000. But the thing about this card, that's a big number, right? That's a big number. Last season wasn't going like amazing for the Chiefs. There's obviously a lot of other AFC teams who are playing better. So I even feel like right now with how Mahomes has been playing, they actually play tonight against the Raiders. Starting pretty soon here. We could see a pretty high number for this card. And the other reason why is because you look and you see NTRPA numbered off 99, numbered off 25, numbered off 5, 10, whatever. They're ending in just about every single auction that there could possibly be. But when it comes to this one, I mean, at least from what I'm seeing here, the last sale I've noticed of this card in an auction was last December. So it's like a year ago. And I feel like the year's at the point to where if there's like super, super rare cards that don't sell within the year, there at least is enough bidder buildup to see where it might go from there. Nate, I know that obviously the market's doing its thing right now, trending up, trending down, whatever. 336K. Do you think it's a realistic target given the Chiefs' expectations this year versus last year at that point?
I mean, expectations aside, I don't think it's a realistic goal because of what we've seen the last 10 months of the year.
Is in general.
Yeah.
But
I still think it will sell for a very, very, very large sum of money.
Yeah, and no doubt. And even I do have to say, some of the things you see is when there is like the same card in the different auctions throughout the months 10 times over because people are trying to sell and get that money out. That's when you start to see the drastic drops in prices. Like we won't really know, at least on this specific card, what a year time frame will do against each other because the next guy we're going to talk about within the last year, you probably would have been pretty happy buying him a year ago. Who do you think we're going to grab next, Nate? Don't say, well, you can grab the card if you think you want to.
Are we going to talk about John Morant?
No.
Erling Haaland?
Yes. Although John Morant would probably fall in the same category.
I don't actually want to grab the card.
He doesn't want to touch any of the cards. All right, next one we're talking about is going to be Erling Haaland. So if you did buy Erling Haaland a year ago, you'd probably be pretty satisfied with sitting there right now. And if you were selling today, you at least have to be excited about the total goals scored so far for Manchester City. Ooh. This is an orange refractor.
And in the Champions League, right?
And in the Champions League. He's got 3 on the year, 4 on the year, and 3 Champions League matches, I think, as well, which is pretty crazy in and of itself. But this one is a 2019 Topps Chrome Orange Refractor number 25 from Topps Chrome Bundesliga. Now, this card, we just posted on Instagram earlier, actually comparing it to a different one we have on the table here of his kind of superstar youngster counterpart. And the thing about this one is that this is from the 2019 Topps Chrome Bundesliga set, which has just got like a very low amount of colors available in the set. I'm going to grab it right now, actually, to compare it to put them side by side, because this one is the 2017 Topps Chrome Mbappe Orange 25 9.5. When you talk about young soccer players that people are buying, collecting, investing, whatever it might be, a lot of people, I feel, are kind of going between these two. And when you look at the two, this card, the Mbappe, came out in 2017, earlier than 2019. However, because it was the Bundesliga set, there's no purples and there's no blues. Now, that's 400 different colors that aren't accounted for right there already, where with this, it's just green out of 99, gold out of 50, orange out of 25, red out of 10, and super refractor 1 of 1. Now, for the Mbappe as well, you add in blue and purple. That's still super small compared to football, basketball, baseball, and all the other parallels we see throughout those, especially.
Topps Chrome 2022 had
like 30
magenta out of 399 and blue wave, blue aqua,
night vision. So it really does come down to how much supply is available in these two. There's not a whole lot out there, obviously. For the Haaland specifically, if you look at back in April, there was a sale for a 9.5. It was at $22,800. That is obviously a hefty sum of money. Like, there's no doubt that, I want to downplay that amount of money. However, the auction closes on the 20th, and I'm looking right now, and the current bid after buyer's premium is at $21,600. I think that's that's not the exact same number I said. The other one was $22,800. This one's already at $21,600. There's still 10 days left and extended bidding. So I think that just kind of goes to show that, yes, the market has a vast majority of things, decreased in value, mostly because of the supply. People are trying to get some money out, this and that. These two cards right here on the screen now, not being seen that often and, being top players in their sport, you never know. And at least, obviously, that Haaland, I think, is pretty safe to say it's going to sell for higher than the last one. Mahomes will have to see what happens depending on the bidding war.
I feel like I've heard all about Holland.
Yeah.
All year.
Mhm.
But I haven't heard anything about Mbappe. I assume he's playing well.
He is playing well. Now, interesting about him is that he doesn't actually have, he might have one or no assists on the year. So Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe are all playing super well right now. I think they've only drew one league match and then against Benfica also in the Champions League, but he scored a ton of goals.
So he's the Colin Sexton of
Oh no, don't give him that tag.
of La Liga.
Don't
No.
League One.
League One.
Yeah, well, no, I don't even get remotely closer. He can he can dish the ball. He has had a lot of assists in his career, and he also is going to be playing the World Cup. You look at these two. One of these guys is going to be in the World Cup next month, and it isn't Holland. It is Mbappe for France, and he's going for back-to-back World Cups. So if you are making a prospective buy right now in October, and if you're watching right now, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Even if you're not a soccer fan, because just about every non-soccer fan, if you collect cards, have heard of these two players. Even Nate knows.
Even I know.
But
even I know before having to get into soccer, I knew who Holland and Mbappe were, along with Messi and Ronaldo. Those were the only four.
Neymar,
and like random Gareth Bales,
Harry Kane's who are
Harry Kane.
But if you were looking, to make a bet on one of these two players, even if you can't buy the card or financially or not, just figuratively, would you go with the Holland, who might be on track to break the Premier League scoring record, or the Mbappe, who could be playing in the World Cup and winning back-to-back World Cups by the time he's age 23? Each of them are massive accomplishments. The Mbappe one has not been seen very often. Neither is the Holland one, though. I mean, if you hit over 50 goals in a Premier League season, it hasn't been done in the current format. Dixie Dean back in 1927 in English competition had 60. But if he does over 60, then we're talking crazy business, right? So I think if I forgot I can do the poll thing. I don't have the studio up right now. But drop in the comments which player you'd rather go with, right now for this World Cup, as Nate's going to see if he can get a little poll going there as he's trying to use a touchscreen that doesn't work.
It doesn't exist.
Text says Thierry Henry. Tyler, thanks for the comment. One thing I like about the Mahomes is that it is a full auto rather than his current auto, which is much shorter. I 100% agree with that. I can take that card out really quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Those cards, isn't this just magnificent, the Mbappe?
Oh, yes.
Just the whole orange everywhere. I mean, that looks so good.
That does. I love the color. I think it's 2017 Topps Chromes. Baseball 2, 2018. And even 2019 Holland, because they take up the entire card. It's gorgeous. Text says Mbappe, but Tyler, back to Tyler's point. One thing I like about Mahomes is that it's his full auto rather than his current auto, which is much shorter. The current auto is literally just like the P and the squiggle, and then I think another squiggle. That's kind of like Giannis. I mean, Giannis is 2013 gold standard on card jersey auto. Has got his beautiful Greek signature. You can find the Spectra that has it too. But even like his National Treasures and Immaculate Patch autos, they've got the shorter, just a little, GA loop thing. I think there's definitely something to be said for full signatures early in players' careers, having bigger, more sought after cards, more sought after prices. Sometimes I think comparatively, like gold standard isn't, at least today, a very hot set, but that Giannis sells extremely well, extremely well. I think for reasons like you said, that auto. Not working?
Read the old P word.
You want me to text you quick?
Yeah.
I just sending Nate a password here. He said the P word. He's talking password. What he's talking about. All right, Tom's got a question here. We'll put the Mbappe and Holland back out there quick.
Oh, well, stink. That's not going to work anyways.
All right, it's not going to work. We're all good. We got some comments there. Tom says, Aaron, question is Camavinga a possible speculation play? Is that what that's trying to say? Pos spec? Don't mind long-term instead of short-term, but grabbed a couple of PSA 9 Chrome Aoki $199 all in like $40 each. So not super painful, if not, but upside. Tom, what I got to say is any player that's young, plays on Real Madrid, plays for France, that's a combination of potential hype and potential success, especially in the trophy department. And then obviously prices going up. Now he'll have to do some well individually himself, and he'll also have to actually get numbers in La Liga to have that thing go up in price. However, I would say if you were looking to grab something else like Topps Chrome Aoki, I think that while it's a fun, cheap rip for buying cards and holding and maybe values going up, I'd say it's like lower tiers out there. You know, it's in a lower tier than Topps Finest, Topps Merlin Chrome, even Topps Chrome Champions League, although I'm not a fan of the 2020 set at all. I'm not saying that you maybe made a bad buy, because I think you could probably, you know, if Kamavinga works out, still make a little bit of money. But, you know, if you are looking to double down, like I think like you can pretty much get some of those like even refractor Merlin autographs for some pretty good prices right now. He is not a defender. He's a midfielder. Exact role in the midfield, I don't know if it's like a central attacking mid or a defending mid. I think he's more on the attacking mid side, though. Could be on the defending mid side, though, if anyone is more astute to the intricacies between the positions. I try my best to learn and to understand. All right. Next up on the list. Nate, you just take your pick, except for your favorite, I think, because I think I want to let you sit on that one.
Well, let's do. Should we do this duo?
Yeah,
one at a time.
Yeah, let's do the duo. All right, we've got 2 tennis cards here. So, let's go like this. This should work, right?
Oh yeah,
there you go.
That looks good.
All right, so,
Classic.
There you go. The OCD with cards is kicking in. What's up, Joel? How we doing? All right, so what we're looking at here right now, both from 2003 Net Pro, both on-card autos, both dual authentic match-worn patches.
Is this 2003? Are these both the years they debuted, or is this like it was just Net Pro randomly did cards this year?
So this was like the first real like pack issued set of each, because like Serena Williams definitely was like 96 SI for kids. She had a 96 rookie. Roger Federer, his debut, I'm sure it was before. Let's type in debut before 2003. Yeah, 1998.
98. Okay.
So yeah, so while these aren't necessarily like rookie cards, I look at this like you've got a Max Verstappen patch auto from Dynasty. People are going to buy the heck out of it, but not necessarily the first year he started driving an F1. These 2 cards are a little bit different though. So on the top here, this is like the same exact looking card, but if you flip it over, it's actually numbered out of 100. So this one's 98 out of 100. And then if you flip over this one, the Roger Federer, it's 21 out of 25. So far rarer. And on the slab, it actually says like prototype on there. Autograph bonus 25. Yeah, it says prototype there. So I don't know the exact intricacies around this Federer release versus this Serena release, but in essence, I imagine this was some type of promotional card or something around there to where you weren't pulling this exact one out of a pack. However, that doesn't mean it doesn't come with huge price tag, because that Federer has sold multiple times over the last year or some change for drastically different prices. So there was a BGS 9 that most recently sold, actually on PWCC's premier auction back in May. That was $43,000. Yeah, 43 grand. This is 9.5. The last 9.5 sold through PWCC fixed price for 110 grand. And the highest sale of all time in this card was over a year and a half ago, May of 2021, kind of when we saw a lot of that like big prices, MJ, LeBron, GOAT, this, that, Tiger Woods, no matter who it was, Serena even too. 181K was the highest price of all time on that Federer. Now, since then, he has announced his retirement from tennis. He played in his last competition, and we'll see what that maybe does in some form to the prices. Obviously, it's not like he like won a competition recently or won one of the majors. Carlos Alcaraz, the young prospect, grabbed the U.S. Open title, which was huge hype for just soccer in general, not soccer, tennis, and tennis cards like these. Just getting more people to look at them and understand them, because NetPro released the individual ones of Carlos Alcaraz. So we'll see. We'll see what these do. But as for Serena, I forgot to give the numbers on those. There was a PSA 8 with the 10 autograph that sold for $66K back on August 27, 2022. I do want to see what that Federer's bid is at right now, though, because like looking at like this is probably like one of, if not the biggest tennis card that's been made. And it's currently around just over 20 grand. So it does have some ways to go, but it's just really cool seeing these 2 in person, because you've got the SI for kids, but really these are like the first intro to like high-end tennis, anything. And then you've got some of the older ones, really high produced stuff. Sports card Harry. Federer won number off the amount of majors he won. Oh, he's saying Federer is the number 1 tennis player off the amount of majors he won. Would have been cool to be 20 out of 25. Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, he's 19 out of 25.
Yeah,
21
okay.
out of 25.
I'm understanding now. Yes, he did win 20 Grand Slams.
Or
It
if
is
he wasn't a
21,
bum
25.
and just won one more. What's the Serena at?
98 out of 100.
If she wasn't a bum and won like 60 more.
Just digging it. Don't mind me. Just driving home. We are not minding you. Don't worry at all. Be safe. Tom says, I really like the look of Merlin from outsider of football perspective. I do love Merlin. And it also plays off the old like 1996 with the David Beckham and everything. It just feels like, I know you love the English vibe. I was trying to catch you there. You do love to use some Merlin, though.
I was gearing up to agree with you about loving Merlin, and then you really caught me off guard. I was about to agree with you on your whole love of English premier.
He can't even say the Premier League.
The Premier League.
There you go.
But I do love Merlin as also a soccer outsider, so to speak. I don't buy a ton of soccer. I have had a lot of fun buying up Merlin blasters and opening them up. I mean, it's legitimately a great time.
Nate loves ripping packs. If you want to know one thing about Nate and his card history, it's ripping packs above everything.
Yeah, 100%. Even when I wasn't huge into cards and Aaron would still haul me along to card shows, I didn't buy singles, but I did buy boxes.
2015 Bowman, you were on it.
And I got slapped around by those boxes for the last 8 years.
Oh, hilarious. Bazooka Tom, speaking of Merlin, I ripped some blasters of Merlin last night. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Great cards, but are there any good rookies in there?
101s, Tom. You're looking for 101s. I've seen apparently 3 have been pulled from blasters of Merlin. So,
that's crazy.
That's what I'm aiming for every time I open it.
Nate's like, I don't care who the players. Give me a 101.
Yeah.
Gavi has his rookie from Barcelona. It's the biggest chase. Jonathan David for Lille and for Canada.
Anthony Alonga
for Man U, although he has not gotten much playing time recently. It wasn't doing that well this year. He's getting a lot of playing time last year.
Let me ask you a question real quick, off topic, but on topic of Merlin. Sydney Bigger, 17 years old, but apparently went down a division. Not the top division in Germany. You know anything about him? Should I be excited about having pulled the blue wave or not?
Oh, that's right. You did.
Yeah.
Well, people were spending crazy money on him right when his cards came out because I think that age, people hear Mukoko, 17, 16, get excited about the next guy. Couldn't tell you a lick about if he's actually any good or not. But I know people.
So I should probably sell.
Should probably sell one of the hypes there. Unless he gets a big move, then I guess you're out of luck. All right, next card. Well, actually, I'm going to make sure there's no comments. We actually did get a comment here from Joel. Are these cards you guys own? Sorry, just got here. Can 100% confirm these are not cards we own. We do have some cards from our vault over there, but they are not these. Yeah, why don't you pull them out really quick? Appreciate it for us.
I wish I owned some of these, but I can confirm that at no point in my life will I, in fact, own these.
The next monster, Stadium 974.
Oh, we do own that.
We do own that.
Well, not really.
Just kidding.
Kind of forced.
But Nate and I had a little pack wars today here at the PWCC HQ with some Qatar sticker packs. This is the first sticker pack to open this year. And I happened to pull Stadium 974.
And I pulled the Jeremy Doku blue. Blew Aaron out of the water with this blue.
You did. But not to mention, you look at that stadium and you think, wow, it looks like you could push it over.
Yeah.
It looks like it's built on stilts. All right, well, Forrest was nice enough to actually go and grab out some of our cards from the vault. So why don't we, and these cards specifically were bought on the PWCC weekly auction, but during our Flip Quest live episodes. Now, the first one wasn't, so I'm just going to show it. Nate needs a little bit of background imagery there. This one is just part of my collection, Chelsea collection. Very excited about Reece James for a multitude of reasons, but I want to focus on the bigger ones that we have not been able to show yet.
Ones that people will care about from good teams.
There were 2 Chelsea fans in the room.
I was going to say
first time commenting, and that's going to be what I comment on.
Not to mention, I don't see Arsenal cards in here. I think it's because our players aren't that good.
Well, next year, 2023 Champions League, there will be Arsenal cards. It's going to be amazing. First year Arsenal rookie or Champions League rookies of Saka and Martinelli and Gabriel. Well, probably not Gabriel Jesus, but whatever.
The Arsenal motto? There's always next year.
I love it.
No, that's the Detroit Lions motto.
True. The first ones we're going to show here really quick. These are 3 2020 cards. There we go. We got one finance in the center, a finance to the right, and a Stadium Club to the left. We just bought this one like 2 weeks ago. That's the gold refractor of Jude Bellingham, PSA 9. Really excited for that one with the World Cup coming up and a potential move as well, at Chelsea being the top target, although Manchester United might swoop or Real Madrid. But Pedri, Ricky Auto, Barcelona, and Spain, super excited. But this one is definitely like the riskiest one we've bought for soccer. This is Noah Lang. He is a Dutch national team player, but he's also on Club Bruges for that is in, I think it's in the Netherlands also. Wait, no, it's not. Now I'm doubting myself. I have
Portugal. Kidding, I have no idea.
Oh, Belgium.
Belgium.
I knew that. Belgian Soccer Club. I'm an idiot. But pretty excited about this one. It's yet to be seen if he'll make the roster and get playing time, but you know how those one-on-ones react when a player really builds on his legacy. So those are the first three, and then we'll show the last three here. We'll just show off 6. Nate, I know you want to do the honors. Nope, not there. Oh,
Just moving them. Whew.
Steady hands, brother.
What is that? Ooh. Woo!
The trifecta. These were the 3 that we grabbed a little over a month ago. The 3 on-card Erling Haaland autographs from Topps Chrome Transcendent. We got the refractor auto in the center here. This one is numbered 25. Oops, I should probably remove the other stuff and put one card in. I was messing with it. We got the Erling Haaland. This is the refractor number 25 auto. 7/25. BGS 75. Have bum service grade, but 10 centering, so kind of cool. And then we got the base auto number 44. Beautiful. Nate, you can do the honors on the last one.
And we have a black. Oh, that am I getting it in there?
Here you go.
We have a black out of 15, BGS 8.5 with the 9.5 centering. No big deal. If I can be a salesman for 1 second, I'd rather have the 9.5 centering on an 8.5 than any other grade.
Well, there we go. Erling Haaland, 3 autographs. You got, smaller one, but really cool color match. There's Joshua Kimmich, number 5, red, 9.5 for Bayern Munich in Germany. And those are the ones that we had in our Flip Quest vault. And then also, I think that these the oranges, those happen to be with it too.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Just kidding. All right, we'll slide those back over for us so those don't fall off the table.
But Zuka Tom says, so I have some cards in the PWCC vault and I've been thinking about using it for memorabilia. Do either of you have anything in there but cards in there?
Well, first of all, right at this moment, I don't think we have anything in there other than cards. However, we've got a comic going soon. But we have to preview today. We don't have to. I'm saying we have here to preview today. This is a signed Babe Ruth baseball with the JSA and Beckett authentication on that thing. And yes, PWCC is getting big into the memorabilia game right now. Game-worn Steph Curry jerseys, game-worn Steph Curry shoes. There's like a Kobe All-Star game-worn shoes in this auction running right now. We'll show here on the platform in a little bit. And then this Babe Ruth baseball right here signed. That ball looks extremely old to me.
Yeah, it does.
Just from the naked eye.
Multicolored seams.
Yeah. Super old ball. Nice autograph.
I wonder what the other auto is. There's clearly another auto on there underneath.
Yeah, it's quite.
I'm curious who else signed it.
Quite scuffed off. Hard to tell, but that's definitely a Babe Ruth. If my very keen authenticating eye had to say so myself, I can read that one. Can I hold that? Yeah. I've not been able to actually hold the Babe Ruth. Nate made a comment earlier. Was it chewed up by a dog?
Dog, yeah. Slobbered on a little bit.
Sandlot. Legendary movie. Very cool Babe Ruth ball right here. But yes, Bazooka Tom. If I did, so actually
Baby Ruth, never heard of him.
I did bring up earlier.
Some more what?
I've seen it maybe like 3 times.
What?
No, I said 3 times within like a 3-year period, but I can't remember the exact one right there.
The good stuff.
It's just dying right now. As for the memorabilia though, so I brought up earlier.
Do you know who Wendy Peppercorn is?
Yes, I know Wendy Peppercorn.
Oh, thank
goodness.
goodness.
I've seen this movie. I know.
All right. We'll move on.
They just picking out like the smallest of quotes and going after me. Either way, I said I've got some memorabilia that I can maybe put in the vault. Game worn Frank Kaminsky signed and inscribed with his shoe number on it. Shoes, Charlotte Hornets. They look super ugly, but ugly shoes. But they're very cool and it's a very nice gift from Roadshow Cards.
I have a signed Fernando Tatis bat, but it might be worth more as firewood now than
or an actual baseball bat.
Or an actual baseball bat. I was getting ready. The worst part is I had been prepping a mount for that to put on the wall behind me for my live streams. And then like 2 days later, before I got it up, he gets suspended. I said, well, I'm not putting it on my wall now.
Seriously, I mean, you've had that bat for how long? For how long?
Multiple years.
For real. Why don't we stay with the theme of the oddball stuff? And let's put in this next thing. So this right here, I've got to say,
Too big for a screen.
I'm not any video game expert in any sort of way. But what I do know is that Mario is popular. I do really like playing video games, but I'm saying expert meaning like this one's got this wrap like this, so it gets a 9.4 and an A+. Like I couldn't tell you any of that.
I couldn't either. I don't know the last time I played actual Mario, jumping in the pipes and hitting the blocks, but there is a movie coming out. And if we learned anything from the Spider-Man PMG that Dave sold forever ago, it's
on Premier Auction too.
On Premier Auction, it's always good time to time something like this with news. And the big news right now is that Chris Pratt did not do an Italian accent for Mario, and they got rid of his butt.
Thanks to Forrest.
Yeah.
But I definitely have played this game, not this exact one like on the NES, but I played lots of Super Mario games on the Game Boy Color, and then even as recent as the Wii, where they had just the Ultimate Super Mario Bros.
Didn't the Wii come out when you were like 3?
It's probably like
just kidding. That was a joke. That's a joke.
Wait,
no, really?
I was legit like 7 or 8.
Oh.
What?
I thought I was making a joke.
Would it come out when you were what, 30? Well, this is a beautiful game right here. It is a 9.4 with an A+ grade by WADA, one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, video game graders. And something I heard was if the Nintendo on the left was actually on the right, would that make it worth $100,000?
The Bros.
Bros.
Oh, the Bro.
So there's 2 additions to the title, and if it's coined Left Bros. If it were a Left Bros edition, it is known to be one of the first prints before a graphic redesign.
Okay. Interesting. Well,
it's like the Bill Ripken error card.
Yeah. So, wait, when you say Left Bros, do you really mean if the Bros was
Bros
shipped?
is moved left.
Was moved under
Yeah.
the M more so.
Oh.
And Mario, I don't know if Mario was exactly the same or was shifted as well, but the issue then was that Mario was blocking part of Bros and that it didn't look too good. So they completely reprinted, and very few Left Bros made it out on circuit.
Wow.
So while this is not the $100,000 version, it's still worth
Like 15 grand or something around there?
10, 15K, which is bonkers to me.
Well,
I can't believe somebody had this game. Never in my life did I
Play it.
buy a video game as a child and not open it and not play it.
I was going to bring up the exact thing to you because you've said this a couple other times on the podcast with us, which makes sense. I mean, I'm the same exact way. Like, I don't think, of all my years, there's never one game I just like stuck in the closet.
Yeah.
There's been packs I've stuck in the closet. There's been cards I've protected well, but.
And while I'm on the subject, soapbox for me for 2 seconds, the people that are like dying, like the kid that put the 101 in the sticker booklet and people were dying. That's what cards are for.
Yeah, right.
They're for being used, kids. Occasionally a kid's going to end up with a Fernando Tatis Cam Auto 25 that he doesn't know is worth anything. He's going to touch it up and stuff. Oh, well, it's what it's for.
Seriously. Now here's the deal, though. Especially with the 101 Heumann son is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
If that's in that book, I don't really care. Like, if you're like let's say that you were a buyer that wanted to get that in your collection because a kid outgrows it, doesn't want whatever. It's like, that's got some history to it, man. Like, that's cool that kid pulled at one point, stuck in the book, buy the whole book, and that's a collectible in and of itself.
Yeah. I mean, and it was used for what it was supposed to be for.
Yeah.
It's quite literally a sticker.
Definitely.
Made as a sticker
Mhm.
to be used as a sticker.
And that's how they were collected for years on years on years back in Europe and everything like that, in Brazil and South America, and all the Pele stickers that are stuck in the books and everything. There was a good comment here from Bazooka Tom. I don't know, tiny ball just seems like a better place than my basement where it could fade. That's a good point. We were talking about that. Like cards don't take up like a whole lot of space. I mean, yeah, they're not nothing, but like it's a slab, it's thin, you can stack a bunch of them. When it comes to memorabilia, wax, especially when you're talking about not wanting to rip it, Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Babe Ruth balls and jerseys and stuff like that. Some people obviously like display them. If you have a PC and you want to display it. If it's like, hey, I've got this investment thing or whatever it might be, or you want to just keep your collection safe. It's like to store that safely. If it's in a safe, whatever, it just takes a lot and very easy to put into like PWCC vault. They got so much space here, so much security, all that stuff where it can be a big difference for it, no doubt.
And it's insured, it's imaged.
There you go. Yep, insured, image, 360 if it's in the premier auction, everything. Otherwise, even just the scans is awesome too. It saves me so much time. I guess that's one of the biggest things that I look at and I'm excited about. All right.
What do we want next?
We got a couple ones left here. 4, I believe.
Let's save these 2 for last because I think they're probably the coolest left.
Yeah, let's go the hockey one to start, or this time. All right. Next up. Jordan, I will get to that question very quickly after I at least preview this card for a second. Nathan McKinnon. This is a 2013 The Cup patch number out of 99, BGS 9. And on this one, it's got a BGS 10 auto. Now, his autograph does get streaky on some cards, but pretty bold here. It's got the 2-color patch. The Cup is one of the most important sets for hockey every single year. Currently for 2020, Kirill Kaprizov, Keandre Miller, Lafreniere, all of The Cup patch autos have not released. And we're getting up to releasing 2022, 2023 product for hockey. We are so far behind on Upper Deck releasing The Cup. It's not even funny. It's way more delayed than any Panini release that I've ever complained about. And it's really frustrating. But take that aside, The Cup, always a legendary release. Going back to 2005. Maybe went back, I think, a little bit prior to that. But 2005, Ovechkin and Crosby's cards are so expensive. McDavid's super expensive from 2015. And Nathan McKinnon won his first Stanley Cup this past season with the Avalanche, put on some amazing performances. He had one goal that I'll never forget when he blitzed up that left side and just absolutely destroyed them. It was awesome. But definitely one of his single best cards. I mean, you compare it to McDavid, and McDavid blows his price out of the water. What this might sell for, I believe the last one sold for around $20,000 with a 3-color patch. But I mean, you're talking to McDavid on a 9 from The Cup. It's multiples of that. Just want to check really quick. Let's see. The last one that sold as a BGS 9, $56,000. So that's a little bit actually lower than I thought I was going to do. So if it does 20, it's a little over, 2.5 times there or something around that. But still, that's quite a bit higher than the McKinnon itself. And he's got a cup, and McDavid doesn't at this point. But McDavid, obviously, one of the most talented players that we've really ever seen, and we'll love to see what he does. Now, Jordan, as for your question about soccer, and Manny gave his thoughts too. Aaron and Nate, people have been anticipating a boom in the soccer card market leading up into the World Cup for a long time, but no real signs of this yet. Thoughts? Yeah, Jordan, we've covered this a few different ways, different live streams, podcasts. Andrew's doing our Road to the World Cup series right now, highlighting the different groups, different players to watch in each group. Great stuff from Andrew coming out every Saturday morning. But the thing about the World Cup this year is that, yes, I think there's going to be excitement around it. Yes, I think people are buying cards, selling cards. PWCC is doing all their different auction events for 3 different weeks, which is going to be really, really awesome leading up to the World Cup and during the group stages. But for me, it was just the timing just did not work out as maybe those people who bought specifically to sell at this World Cup were hoping for. You're talking about, an overall global economy that's changed over the last year and a half. You're talking about this happening in November, which was scheduled, so it's not like this was unforeseen, but the more you kind of feel it as it builds up, you kind of feel the effects of it. Scheduled in November when there's multiple other sports going. You've got baseball that's winding down. You've got basketball that's starting up, hockey that's starting up, football that's mid-season, college football, Formula One still going. There's just so many other things to pay attention to where if this did happen in the summer, and it's one of the only things going outside of baseball, and obviously Formula One, I bet that there would be a lot more excitement and talk around it than maybe what there is right now. Now, does that mean that this, I'm not even going to use Mbappe as an example because it's going to take a lot for people to really get his cards going up in value because they're just so expensive. But like Jeremy Doku playing for Belgium, not this exact thing. This is a blue sticker and an 8 pull. Cool item, but not, one of those top rookies from like 2020. If he has a goal or he has 2 goals in the tournament, He might score none. Okay, he might score none too. But if he does do something like that, I bet you that his cards will get super hot. Not for me saying like, hey, go and buy every single player you know, and they might get hot if they score, because that probably won't work out. It's like you're gambling at that point. But if you have a player that you collect that you like long-term to pass this World Cup, it wouldn't be a bad idea to like have one in the back pocket to where if something does happen and their prices do get affected. You see it every single week in the NFL. Well, I know the NFL is different, but this is like the biggest world event. Like TJ Hawkinson cards like double in price every in a big week.
It's true.
You're telling me Jeremy Doku has 2 goals in the World Cup group stages, which would be a lot. But if he does, like his cards would for sure go up in value. And that's what we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen a World Cup happen when the card market has been bigger than what it was in 2018, especially soccer cards. We did have the Euro last summer as a preview, and there was definitely a little bit of movement there. But something like that I think is gonna be interesting to watch. So where maybe the overall market you can't really see the shift. Like I bet you once performances are happening, you can start to feel a little bit.
Hey, real quick, Tech said I have a bunch of Funko Pops. Talk about taking up room. Did you see that PSA grades Funko Pops?
They're actually grading the cases now, like the actual boxes.
Yeah.
So before they were authenticating them, especially if they're signed, they'd authenticate them, but now they're actually going to be doing the grading. I think it's like $40 to get one graded.
I know Brewtown has a bunch of, I think, Legolas Funko Pops signed by Orlando Bloom and 11 Funko Pops signed by Millie Bobby Brown.
Why didn't I know that? I actually was looking at one on eBay to buy.
I don't know why I didn't tell you. I just thought about it now. They should get them graded.
They should. Tech says, I see a small bump right before and during the World Cup, but next World Cup in the U.S. will be huge for the market. You can actually see the uptick in different TV stations showing games. So, yes, that's a big point also that Tech brought up, is that these games are going to be happening between like 5 a.m. Eastern time or Central time and like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Eastern time. Whereas if it is in North America happening in Canada, United States, Mexico, you're going to be able to see those games. You're going to be able to, feel the excitement, and it's going to happen during the summer when there's not, super busy.
What time is that?
seasons.
It's going to be in the morning?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 a.m. to like 1.
Well, I'm definitely not watching that.
Well, they go throughout the day. So like your time will start like 3, 5, 7, and like probably like 9. So in the morning you could probably catch 2 of them or something. The group stages. But yeah, it is definitely different. It's definitely going to affect it, I think. All right, next up. This is one of the cards that I would say like has pretty much defined the modern market in a sense. You can say what you want, and I will say what I want to about the patches from these cards. These in particular are player worn, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They are. So these are a little bit better than hold up, pretty. There you go.
Oh.
I think you can see it.
You
Player,
that, right?
There you go. Yeah, player worn. All right, so player worn like from 2019, much better than 2020, not associated, and much better than 2021, not associated. But even player worn people sometimes, especially longtime collectors, like game worn or nothing else. I think this is one of the cards, along with design, along with any other Luka Trey, that just kind of like defines the modern market. The 2019 National Treasures John Morant rookie patch auto. People spend insane amount of money on these cards. Like you look at the cracked ice Mahomes, and you're like, all right, Super Bowl, MVP, one of the most prestigious football sets ever made, PSA 10 out of 25. Like all the right stuff going for itself for like $336K, which is a big number regardless. Then you go and you look at John Morant's, who at the time that this thing sold was definitely like on the way up and was pretty hot in general in the market, but no MVP, no national or no NBA championship game. The 9.5 BGS 9.5 gem mint. This is an SGC 1010 gem mint. The 9.5 so for $312,000.
Was that jersey numbered? I feel like there was a situation where one of those was jersey numbered.
Ooh, Nate with the good thoughts here. There was a situation where one was jersey numbered, but I want to say it's a BGS 8 that sold for like $250K.
Okay.
Here. And I'm actually going to type in, he's 12, right? Yeah, so it was a PSA 8 that sold for $550K as the jersey number. But no, the BGS 9.5 non-jersey number sold for $312K back April 16th of 2022. So people definitely go crazy for these. This is probably one of the more expensive cards that we've shown out here so far. And we will definitely see where it goes from here. But Nate, what do you feel like? Basketball has obviously leveled off a lot. People for the last like year have said every time I look at basketball cards, they look the same. I see too many basketball cards for the last 3 years. They're too hyped by lots of people, and then I'm just not very interested. Do you feel like that we're going to see more of that same this season, or are you to a point now to where maybe it's like, okay, they've dropped enough? They've dropped like 30%, 40%.
I mean, personal gut feeling. I don't have any stats to back this up, but personal gut feeling, I feel like we probably hit a point where people have lost enough interest where I think maybe people will start being like, oh yeah, the prices dropped from the overexcitement and to a more reasonable price, and now I think we'll see the ability for some of these cards to go back up.
And I think it depends on what it is too. Obviously, like that's kind of how the market is in general right now. It's situation based. Is it the right grade? Is it the right card? Is it the right serial numbers? The right player? All that different stuff where you kind of get that perfect combination. If you don't have that perfect combination, it is a prism-based PSA 9. That card realistically is never going to gain value ever again.
Yeah.
Unless player does something drastically different where it can go from $5 to $15, something like that.
And you'd have to have so many of those to be able to make good money.
Seriously. All right. And not to mention all the time it takes to move them all.
Mm-hmm.
This one,
unless you sell them through PWCC.
It's true. Then it does take no time and you are just clicking flash auction. Good point there. All right. This one right here was, I think, for sure my favorite vintage in this entire auction. It's a 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente rookie PSA 8. I don't know if you got a good look at it yet. I know you're looking at it now.
Mm-hmm.
How's it look?
It looks great. I mean, it looks for somebody who's seen a decent amount of vintage, but not like raw.
Yeah.
None of them have looked that good.
Right. Do you know what's funny? You haven't watched SpongeBob, but the way that we're looking at this card right now
reminds you of SpongeBob.
For all the SpongeBob fans out there, y'all know the Krusty Krab pizza episode when they open up the pizza box and both SpongeBob and Squidward are looking into the box at the pizza. I feel like that what we were just looking at this card at, leaning into it looks like the pizza and the Krusty Krab. I'm dying.
It's a reference right over my head, but I like it.
You'll see it. Wait, I'm going to Google it right now and actually just show you.
As for this card, just magnificent. Roberto Clemente, of course, obviously passed away tragically, age 37. Last hit of his career was also number 3,000, which is pretty crazy, ending straight right on 3,000. People in baseball love round numbers. Beautiful that Roberto Clemente got to that round number before ultimately an untimely plane flight and plane crash. But what a card. I mean, what a magnificent card. There's occasionally I'm not a huge vintage guy, but occasionally you see a vintage card and you're like, yeah, that looks really good. And this is one of those times.
I mean, my favorite top sets, people don't like horizontal cards nowadays. I mean, you'll get horizontal cards. Like we got one right here, like the Serena Williams and the Roger Federer, where it doesn't matter. Like people are going to buy it. It's a patch auto, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at like 55 and 56 tops, in my opinion, like 56 tops is one of the best top sets ever made. And that's horizontal. But people, especially when like the Tatis's rookie release, dude, people hated that. People are like, I'm never buying that rookie because it's horizontal.
And then they did.
Wait, they did? You're saying?
And then they did.
Okay, yeah. They did, yeah. Yeah, so they did end up buying it, but I have no hard feelings against horizontal cards. I actually like how they did this back in the day with the portrait shot and then kind of like the actionist shot. Like Jackie Robinson sliding that into the home base is so awesome in the 56 tops card. Yes, Johnny, we are in Tigard right now at the PWCC vault. All right, we have one card remaining here to share. We got a few minutes left. Nate, I'm gonna let you go for this.
By far, the coolest card that we have shown this day, and that includes the Contenders Cracked Ice of Mahomes. But this card is beautiful, and I have never seen it before. A Reggie White ended last night on the weekly auction. Precious Metal Gems out of 15, and also a there's another Packer player, and I can't remember.
It's Freeman. Or was it Verizon? I thought it was Freeman.
Was it?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Yeah, Antonio Freeman. Yep. Antonio Freeman for $3,000, BGS 9. I can't even imagine what Jerry Rice goes for. The Reggie White ended up going for 18 grand. This card is insane. The Jerry Rice green PMG out of 15. You can see that there. 15 of 15.
15 150.
No, I know, but
Yeah, but it's
of the green.
Yeah.
It's number 15. Should I move it up a little bit?
Yeah, you can see it. We're good.
Okay. What a card.
And yeah,
Looks so good.
I was going to point that out is that, for those that don't know much about the older PMGs, the new modern ones, you get a hockey one. If it's not the retro set from 2020, but if it's like 2015, McDavid, it's going to be like numbered out of 49 if it's a blue or something like that. Like Nate pointed out, 15 number out 150. That's the last green that was printed. PSA 6. Now this card's going to sell for a ton. I looked up to see what a red sold for. Reds are out of 150, and it's the rest of the 135. The last red sold BGS 8.5 for $26,000 as a red. That was back on October 2nd. This one has never sold from what I found publicly, like on auction or anything like that. So your guess is as good as mine. The PMG is always extremely difficult to grade. And specifically, these football ones are always very interesting because this is like he's basically like sitting in flames right here. A lot of the basketball ones are like in the universe, like Jordan and stuff. But when it comes to rarity alone, not seeing stuff pop up, probably of all of these, this is the rarest card.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely
from a who cares about the grade standpoint, just cards specifically.
Whereas like this could be a 4 and probably sell for just as much as if
Yeah.
it was a 6 or something similar to it. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. We're looking a little spiffy. I'm looking more spiffy than normal with a polo. Normally, I got a sweatshirt on here.
That's true. Aaron's looking spiffy for the first time in a while.
All right. Well, to end today's stream, I just want to go on here really quick and just preview a couple of the different higher end items that are ending. Obviously, a lot of stuff super expensive, but if you do have a shot and you do want to bid in this auction, PWCCmarketplace.com is where you find it. There's 424 different items ending right now. As big as Tom Brady Contenders Ticket Championship BGS 9 with a 10 auto number of 100 at $1.6 million already ending in 10 days. That's going to sell for some crazy amount. Mike Trout Red Auto out of 5, BGS 9.5. Barely see those things show up. Big Luka NT, another Luka NT, but there's the Shohei Ohtani Red and the Contenders that we just showed. This massive Jordan and LeBron. This is the exquisite dual patch auto. Super sick card. I like the number pieces with the 23 in the middle of the card. Just tons and tons of really crazy stuff. Along with this Zion and Ja dual NT, not NT, dual flawless logo man right there. Now, if you are looking to grab some of the smaller items, is not just hundreds of thousands of dollars too. There are items, some of these things down $4,000 right now. I'm sure they'll get more bids as the time comes. Kobe Gold, this and that, but you can go in and you do have to apply to get to verified to be bid, or you have to apply to be verified to be able to bid. But once you do, you can place some bids on these if you do so want to. Foil Fractor Wander, a couple different things down here, Joe Burrow, this and that. But feel free to check out the auction, PWCCmarketplace.com. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. But that is going to be feel free, I'd say DM us on Instagram at Slabstocks. Can help you navigate that if you need to. But that's going to be it for today's stream. I know we're a little more zoomed out right now, but hope everyone has a great rest of your week. So today's Monday. You're driving back tonight. I'm flying back tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do have a multitude of different breaks happening on Whatnot, 6 p.m. Eastern time with what's brewing for basketball season, preseason tip preview. And then Thursday, I'm going to do some soccer as well. And then Sunday will be our next Flip Quest stream that we'll be back on. So I think that's all we got for now. I appreciate everyone coming out. We looked at a various amount of items, pretty crazy. Obviously, we go to a bunch of card shows and we have in the past couple of years, and you do see higher end pieces. But to actually be just able to hold on to them is a whole different ballgame than looking through a case. It's
I've never thought in a million years I'd touch a Babe Ruth ball.
The real question is, how do they let us in this room by yourself with all these items?
Well, you gotta be trustworthy, and you're not making it out of this building.
That is true. Cameras everywhere. I was just making a joke, but super amazing pieces, and good luck to everyone selling those and all the other ones in the premier auction, October 20th. And if you're looking at some perspective one, you can go and hit up Brock's Cards, shout Brock at Brock's Cards on Instagram too, and he will help you out with that. Either way, for the first time, we're seeing a big high-end video game sell Super Mario Bros. 3 9.4 from WADA. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of your week. Thanks for joining us here live from PWCC in Oregon. And we will see you all in the next live stream Sunday night, FlipQuest PWCC Weekly Auction, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time.
See you guys.